Hi there, my name's Nethergam, and today we're playing Pentiment. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you were having a great day. When we last left off, we were trying to figure out how exactly to get this day wrapped up, or this time, or whatever. I'm just trying to figure out what to do next. We obviously have the rat house that needs painting, but going into the rat house, at least a few minutes ago, in playtime, last episode, we went into the rat house and nothing happened. So. But we could try again. We've talked to a couple of people since then. Maybe we've triggered something. Because I'm pretty sure this is what we're supposed to do at some point. But there are no markers or nothing. And when we spoke to Paul last episode, he mentioned that... Magdalene spoke as if she was going to start painting today. So going to sleep seems kind of like the wrong choice, but I don't know. I also have that book that I don't seem to be able to read. I'm not tired right now. Okay, definitely not the choice then. I mean, it's not dark or anything, so. But clearly there must be something else I need to do here today before we get started. I'm not entirely sure what it is, because my quests sort of don't point me in that direction. She should read the book. This is stuff, I should paint the mural. She does mention the Mithraeum, but then she says I'm not sure what that means, and I can't really figure out where it would be in our town anyway. Anyway, I can't use that in part of the murals. It's just odd. So, that doesn't seem like that's an important thing I need to look for. Alright, can't get in there. We spoke to both of these two last episodes, so they don't speak to us, besides just saying hello. We've got Jutta. Hey, Magdalene. We got Hetty. Oh, Hetty does talk, okay. Hello, Magdalene. How's the mural coming? Well, I haven't started yet. I hear you browbeat the council into letting you do it yourself. I don't care about the council. It took some work. They didn't have a chance against me. Yeah, it took some work, but I convinced them to let me paint the rat house, yes. Well, it's good to see those stubborn bastards can be moved. God may have made man from dust, but I swear he left some of them with rocks for brains, too. Did you know Jorg was by to check on my hinges? I've had about enough of their silly projects. That Zimmerman boy seems to have a good head on his shoulders, though. That's Otts, right? Yeah. Once you're settled down with him, you'll have a good life ahead of you. That is not happening. I think we can learn to love each other. No. Yeah, that's sort of true, but I don't think this is happening. Otts is alright, but he's boy. Otts, I'm not gonna marry him. Are you so sure there are better prospects for you in this town? Don't tell me you'd prefer the Gertner boy. I don't even know who that is. Yeah, I'd rather leave Tassing and see what else is out there. Show me another town in the Empire with 2 local saints and our fresh alpine air. But you are always going to forge another path, just like your mother. I have no use for the world beyond Tassing, but I wish you luck in it. Thanks, Hetty. I'll see you later. Until then. Alright. Who is this? Simon! Hey, Magdalene. I heard what happened to your dad. How's he doing? Resting. He suffered a severe blow to the head. I'm worried, to say the least. Hans sends his regards. The Bauer household is praying for a swift recovery. Thank you, and thank Hans and Jutta as well. What? They're here. I will. Klaus has always been such a bedrock of Tassing. I'd hate for him to die. It'd be, sorry. It's fine. I fear it as well. It's best not to ignore one's fears. Do you miss your father? Your real one, I mean. Do I miss him? Kind of. I don't remember Joseph all that much. He's become a haze of sorts. A faint echo, a feeling, an occasional emotion. I was so young when he got killed. Mom said I had trouble understanding what had happened for a long time. Yeah, wow. I understand. My mom, she's like an empty hole in my life. I have nothing of her. Ah, yeah. You never even got to see her, right? Not even a memory, huh? Suppose you have yourself for comparison. God molded you after her. Does he remember her? I can imagine how she could have been... I can imagine how she could have been, like, stubborn and unruly, yeah? But can I actually know if I'm actually like... Can I know if I'm actually like my mom? I'm not stubborn and unruly. If that is what it takes, I don't see people of wealth and power giving the rest of us much headway. Okay. Yeah, I guess. This doesn't quite seem to have anything to do with what we're talking about. Whatever. If that's what it takes. I don't see people of wealth and power giving the rest of us much headway. Guess not. But we know what happened 18 years ago. I can understand why the town council is careful. I don't know. I'm not smart like you, Magdalene. Anyway, the winter draws closer, so I got a lot of preparations to take care of. I truly hope Klaus recovers soon. God look after you both. Until later, Simon. Simon seems like a good dude. Hi, Hans. Hello, Magdalene. Hello, Hans. I hope your dad recovers quickly. He's a good man. Thank you. I'll tell him you said that. Good. This town has seen too many terrible things, but we've recovered before. Maybe the Lord will return your dad to health too. I pray you're right. Be glad you have this time with him, I say. Wish I'd had as much with Helwig? I don't know who that is. That name doesn't sound familiar to me. Is that someone we've met before? Ah. Helwig. Anyway, I should get back to it. Until later, Hans. Bye. All right. So we're definitely getting some conversation opportunities here. Yo, Peter, how are you? Magdalene. Big York, how are you? Hello, Magdalene. Go into the Gertner house and speak with Veronica. Hello, Magdalene. All right. Cool. Huh. Yeah, still not seeing. There's bound to be something. And maybe it's just like a matter of talking to enough people. Oh, Endra still has something to say? Hello, Magdalene. How's Klaus? Alive, and that's what matters. Did you discover who attacked him? No. Whoever it was, they left no sign. A terrible crime. Terrible. May God look after you both. We've had enough tragedy in this town. Has Gertrudo? Who? Gertrudo? Oh, Gertrude. Wow, that one letter really threw me off. Been by to see him. I'd trust her over that doctor. He's not reliable. Wow. Wow. I've noticed. Does he care about his work, I wonder? He used to talk about how he was too good for Tassing, destined for greater things. Still does, apparently. Still here, though. Why is he on the council? Whatever his faults, he's still an educated man. That counts for something, I guess. How's that fair? Yeah, I guess. You should be on the council, not him. They asked me. Turned him down. I like what I do. I'm good at it. Don't need much else than that. But I shouldn't gossip. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. I will. Thank you for your kindness, Enders. It's nothing. I owe your father more than I can say. Take care, Magdalene. Enders is good people. These two just say hi. Elsie just says hi. Anna just says hi. Andreas just says hi. Fabian just says hi. Ursula. All right. I didn't go into the Kreutzer house. Or no, I did. This guy was Black Tail. Oh, maybe I should go back to Black Tail, yeah? That makes sense. He's the one that told me about the pottery and the salt mine. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Till. Do you have a moment? Of course. What do you need? Ott says you've been obsessed with your painting. What? I feel like this is the same conversation we had before. I'm looking into the early history of Tassine for the first part of the mural. Mother Illuminata said your grandfather read about the history of the town. Ah, fertile fields, that is. Fertile fields, that is. Seemed like old potsherds and Latin trivia were all he ever talked about. This is the same conversation, isn't it? All of Granddad's reading came from the Abbey Library, though. You know what happened there. Yeah. Poof! Up in smoke. How was there? Yeah. So you don't have any of his old books? Only a few. Granddad tried to buy some when the Abbey fell on hard times, but they were too expensive. That's so weird. I feel like this is one of the only times we've gotten a repeat conversation. But I can show you something better than books. Anything would help. Right. So we don't have any books on the old pagans, but we do have their stuff. Shards of ceramic pots and animals, bricks from what looks to be an old forge, mountains of salt. Even found a little bear carved from amber. Where did you find all this stuff? It's not just me. Carl finds things, Fabian too. Any farmer would tell you the same. It's all out there in the fields, under the dirt. Can't go one season without turning up something. Where are you keeping these things? Nowhere. We just toss them into piles with the rest of the rocks and root clumps. Sure, it's interesting, but we can't do much of anything with the stuff except look at it. What do you think it all means? I don't follow. How do you think these people lived? Rough, I'd say, but comfortable. Pretty sure that's what I said last time. We don't find much of their clothes or their houses, so they must have rotted. I guess that would mean they were living in huts. But their tools are good quality. If they weren't rusted all to hell, I could probably use them today. I don't know why, but I assumed they'd live in caves or in the muck. They weren't Christians, no doubt about that, but they weren't animals either. I love how those are the two extremes. I'd say they had it hard, but they got by. Not so different from today, really. Earlier you mentioned something about salt. Did the pagans start the mine? Had to have, I'd say. I messed that line up last time too. Had to have, I'd say. Most people think it was a Roman project, but I think the Romans just dug out what was already there. It's usually what a mine is, Blacktail. That's why Tassine was so important to the Romans in the first place. Salt. I'd always wondered why they'd settled in such a small alpine town. This has been a big help, as it was last time. Glad to spread some knowledge around important for folks to know their past. You think all this pagan stuff will make it in the mural? I can bring some of the things the boys and I have found over to the rat house tomorrow, if that'd help at all. It would. That'd be great. I'm glad you're taking an interest, Magdalene. I thought no one cared about the pagans but me and Granddad. Until tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm pretty sure everyone does. Go to the rat house. Thanks. Yeah, but I had this conversation with Blacktail already. No wonder I was so lost. All right, fine. I'm pretty sure I had that exact conversation, maybe with a different decision or two. before I went to the mines. I thought that was the conversation that led me to the mines. Maybe not. Does he have a spoon in his hat? Hold on a second. Hi, Carl. Good day, Mistress Druckerin. All right, I like your spoon, my dude. Or maybe that's supposed to be a pipe. It's a wide, shallow pipe. All right, let's hit it. Work on mural. It's about time. For 2 hours. Hey, Megs. How's the mural coming along? For Christ's sake, Otts. What? Oh, right. Magdalene. Sorry. Anyway, Magdalene, how's the mural going? It doesn't look like much yet. I haven't started. Neither do you, but the town has learned to accept it over the last 18 years. Do you even know the difference between egg tempera and oil paint? Get out of here, scallywag. No work of art appears significant at the start. You think Michelangelo was born a great sculptor? Oh, don't say that. I don't think that's the equivalent. Do you think David looked like much when it was just a block of marble? That's what you should say. Of course it doesn't look... yeah. Well, of course it doesn't look like anything now. I only just finished priming the wall. Now I have to decide what to depict. It's hard to piece together the history of Tassine when it happened so long ago. Since the Abbey Library burned, I can only rely on stories from people around Tassine. Plus all this physical evidence I found. Even what I could find out about the Roman... Even what I could find out about the Romans and pagans was obscure. I had to go into the old salt mine to find anything. At least now I know how to paint for the first... At least I know what to paint for the first part of the mural. So, what is it? Pagan stuff! I'll use the pottery and tools the farmer found to show how we lived before the Romans. Smokey told me a story about the god Mars as a wolf, the nymph Tassia, and how the spring was blessed. Peter remembered a legend about a chieftain, Redux, who helped heal the wolf that led him to our spring. I'll create an image I found in the mine. It showed how our ancestors made human sacrifices to appease Perchta and the spirits. These are all good. I kind of feel like we should go with one of these more, I don't know, though. Do we want to tell more of the story of what really happened? It kind of seems like these two are more legend, right? But still important to the sort of history of the town. They might sort of imply the kind of cultural importance of the town and what they believe in and sort of who they are as a people. Whereas these, the top and bottom here, seem to be a little bit more like, hey, it seems like we did these things. Here's some tools. Here's some actual depictions that I found. This is obviously a little bit more brutal, but maybe more accurate. But I mean, not necessarily, this isn't necessarily inaccurate, though. I don't know. Smokey told me a story about the god Mars as a wolf, the nymph Tassia, and how the spring was blessed. Chieftain Redux, who healed the wolf that led him to our spring. Who was Mars? Are these basically the same story? I can't really remember the details of Smokey's or Peter's story. But I know that both of them, certainly Peter, kind of lamented the fact that these old stories aren't told really anymore. These sort of old ways of telling their history from these sort of mythological standpoints is kind of lost, or kind of been lost. This almost seems too cruel to show. Like, yeah, maybe that might be how they were, but is that the only thing you depict? Oh, back in the day, we were terrible. That doesn't seem quite right. I'm just trying to narrow it down here, because I feel like this is going to be kind of an important choice, but maybe not. Maybe it doesn't matter. I'm leaning towards this. It's true. There's physical evidence of it. I think it's an important part of a place's history is sort of the physical kind of real impact that the people who lived there had. And I don't really know, since I can't really remember these stories in great detail, I can't remember if they were particularly positive or negative. And while I feel like we should sort of I think people want to see the legendary stuff, though. I think that is important. Maybe I'll go with Smokies, because it talks about Tassia specifically. And I feel like, as a history of the town, Tassing, named after Tassia, I feel like that would be good. Boy. I think I'm gonna go with this. Smokey told me a story about the god Mars as a wolf, the nymph Tassia, and how the spring was blessed. Sounds interesting. Is that Christian, though? No! Nobody wants that, Otts! I might be a little worried Father Thomas will take it the wrong way. So, what made you choose this story, anyway? That's definitely good. We have to include the Romans, since we build our town on their ruins. I like that it's about the founding of Tassing. Everyone knows the spring in the woods. They're gonna make the most beautiful artwork. Yeah, no, I think this. I think we have to include the Romans in our story, since we build this town on their ruins. That makes sense. Their stuff is all over the place. Still, I think Father Thomas might be upset about Mars and the lady. Tough beans! Thanks for explaining it. Of course. I want you all to understand why I'm making these choices. Well, now that I've figured this portion of the mural out, I better start thinking about next section. I'll leave you to it, Mags. Magdalene. Good night, Alts. Good night, Magdalene. Keep practicing, buddy. Several hours later. Oh, we're home. We're going to write to Matthew. Now that I've decided how to depict Tassing's earliest history, I should decide how to paint Kirsau's history. Mother Illuminata's letter mentioned that a Matthew Faucigny Sau used to be a brother in Kirsau. She said he knew a great deal about the Abbey's history. I should write to him and ask him what he remembers. Oh, and I have Esther's letter to answer, too. I should write to them both now, before bed. Oh, before I write, I should read that old book Brigitte gave me. Maybe I'll learn something pertinent for the murals. I agree. To all of it, right? What about read? Where's the read option? Not up here. Hi, Klaus. Don't die, buddy. I mean, we're playing the wrong game if we don't want people to die. All right, let's do the writing first, then maybe we'll get the opportunity to read. All right, where to begin? Right, the old book. Oh, never mind. It was the Baron's before Martin stole it. Cool. When the Romans, having conquered the town, built up the walls around it, they established many temples there. This is harder to read than I thought. The book isn't in great shape either, since it's been sitting in a farmer's house for so long. Let's see. Oh, here's a section about the various dedications erected in the town. That might be easier to read. Is there something about the Mithraeum? Ergo simulacrum in agre ut Mars nostrum operem conspiciat. I raise a vision in a field so that Mars may behold our work. Huh. Sedit Diana loco scaturigionosus ipsa. Diana sat in a place with water oozing up from herself. What does that mean? Orimus ut defendat oppidum. Let us pray so that he or she may defend the town. Huh. None of this really makes any sense. Maybe someone with better Latin than me could help me read it. The book is so big, though. It would be a lot of work. I could ask Sister Gertrude or Baltas for help. Gertrudo! Werner, too. He's much better at Latin than anyone else in town. Maybe even Father Thomas, even though Dad warned me not to bother him with secular books. Chances are slim they could help, but it might be worth asking about. Alright, yeah, I will. I should finish writing my letters first. Mother Luminata told me that Matthew knew some of the Abbey's early history. He's the Archdeacon of Sion now. I should write to him before the snows come. I'll write to Esther, too. Yes, please. Most Reverend Matthew Faucigny Lasau, Archdeacon of Sion. Most revered Matthew, formerly of Curacao Abbey. Yeah, maybe just so he knows what's up. Most revered Matthew Faucigny Sau. Socks. Faucigny Socks, formerly of Curacao Abbey. My name is Magdalene Druckerin. I'm the daughter of Tassin's town printer, Klaus. My father and I are creating a mural for Tassin's rat house. We wanted to show the history of the town and the abbey. Mother Lumina told me you might be the best person to talk to. I heard you were the sacristan at Curacao and knew a great deal about the abbey's early history. Let's do Mother Illuminata. Name drop just a little bit. Mother Illuminata told me that you might be the best person to ask about Curaçao's early history. I understand you are a busy man, but we would be most appreciative of any information you could give us. If you know of any other places where we might learn about the Abbey's history, we would appreciate it. Oh man, I know my small comfort, but there are many in Tassie who regret what happened. Maybe we don't need to bring it up. Thank you for your help and consideration. Thank you for your help. Magdalene. All right. Good job, Magdalene. Paraphrased me a little bit, but yeah, I appreciate it. Esther. Please forgive me for not writing sooner. Christ, I don't even know where to begin. Yeah, this is a friend. Christ, I don't even know where to begin. The whole world seems to be crumbling around me. Even as my last letter was en route to you, Dad was attacked in the workshop in the middle of the night. He survived, thank God, but his injuries are terrible. I worry about him. He's so dizzy he can't get out of bed. Some days his eyes become foggy and his memory fails him. Dr. Stoltz says he's not going to recover, and that it's only a matter of time before he succumbs to the injury. Of course, our good doctor is incompetent and a known drunkard, so he's been of little additional help. Wow. I can only pray that between resting and my ministrations, Dad can at least be comfortable. I have no idea who could have wanted to attack my father or why. I found a note by him, too. All it said was stop. It wasn't from the shop, because the script was written in the most elaborate hand I've ever seen. No one in Tassin has such a skill in script, as far as I know. And anyway, I don't have the time to wonder about it. I've had my hands full running the workshop alone while tending to Dad. What's more, the town council intended to cancel the mural entirely. I had a hell of a time convincing them to let me paint it instead. They made a fuss about my being too young, not experienced enough, not strong enough to be on the scaffold. You know how it is. Can't wait to leave this place. Yeah, I mean, this seems like kind of a recent development, but it certainly seems like some of the dialogue is kind of leading me in the direction of Magdalene might want to leave at some point. So maybe we should lean into that. That might be fun. I can't wait to leave this place. She won't get to, but it's Pentiment after all. She'll die here, undoubtedly. We'll probably be playing as a new character by the next by the time the next jump in time. Maybe it's the coming of winter, but tassing feels more and more cramped. Although I have this sort of suspicion that we did spring, summer, now we're in fall, and the next time jump will go into winter, and that'll probably be the last act of this game, would be my guess. I've had enough of everyone asking me about the mural and doubting my skill. Working on the mural has been a welcome distraction from the naysayers and my chores. And worrying about my dad. Otz has been coming over under the pretense of helping me prepare my paints, too. Has he? Yeah. I don't know why I'm so against Otz. He seems like a perfectly good dude, but I'm resisting the idea that it's just a foregone conclusion that she's gonna marry Otz. Screw that guy. I wish he'd stop. He's not subtle, and his flirting is annoying. I'd like to have the whole mural finished by Christmas if I can. I just want to finish it in time for Dad to see it. It would mean so much to him. If Dr. Stoltz is right, I don't know how long I'll have. I hope you're faring better than we are here. All my love, Magda. Cool. All right. Translation trouble. That's going to be my ask somebody for help with the book. All right. I might, before we go to bed, poke around outside just to see if anything suspicious is happening in the evening time. You never know in this game. But I think we might have to do that next time. Thank you so much for joining me. When I come back with more Pentiment, we'll just poke around outside for a little bit. Probably nothing's going on, and people are just going to say, good evening, Magdalene, and then we'll go to bed. But anyway, we'll find out, and maybe we'll find something interesting or juicy. Thank you so much for being here. Have an incredible day. I can't wait to see you all again very soon. Okay, bye!
Thank you again for watching the video. If you'd like to see more from me, feel free to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when my videos go live. I'd also very much love to hear from you down in the comments below.